Hey everybody, this is Sky. I thought I'd do a little video about my family. I've mentioned them. I can't quite do names or too much details because I need their permission first, and that's a respect thing for me, for them. I am the oldest of us girls. My dad, from his first marriage, I have two older brothers. My dad and mom were married, me and Katrina. My mom and dad divorced. My dad remarried his first wife. Yes, complicated, right? Then my mom was in a relationship with a gentleman who didn't want kids. My mom had a tube tied. Well, she's what they call a healer. And oops, here comes Sarah. Now she had him tied and burned again. 2.5 years. She was engaged this time to a gentleman. And she got pregnant again, and he, I guess, had some problems thinking he couldn't have kids. So he left her saying she cheated on him. But in the meantime, here comes my youngest sister, Jennifer. Now, the one sister younger than me is Katrina. One who is 5 years younger than me is Sarah, and the youngest is Jennifer. Those are extent of what I refer to them as. And then through Jenny's father, the youngest, he had hooked up with another woman and got her pregnant with twins. So I have twin younger brothers. Plus, when I was about 15, 16, we ended up taking in a young man, sort of adopting him, George, who is 9 months older than me. So it's very complicated. There's many marriages and re-divorces. But in the end, it's family to me, and that's what it'll always be. The two younger twin brothers are Philip and Lawrence. That way you have some names to kind of refer to should I mention them ever in a video by name. They all have kids. No, don't say that. They don't all have kids. Of my two older brothers, only one has kid, and he has 5. So 2 boys and 3 girls. And the oldest boy, I think, is like 29. So yeah, my older brothers are almost 10 years older than me. So. And I am 39, so it'll be 48 and 47. Excuse me, I do believe. We all weren't really raised together. There's pictures of me between the ages of 1 and 4 that I kind of was around my older brothers. Parents, of course, divorced. We moved to Seattle, and me and my sister Katrina were raised together, and then us 2 younger girls. For a little bit, I had an uncle who is 3 years younger than me. Yeah, I know. My grandpa had himself fixed. Or I don't know what you would call it. Woman's hysterectomy on the guy. I don't remember what they call it. But he was a healer too. Hence where my mom got it. And so his last wife, they had a big oops. She was pregnant with Lonnie, who is 3 years younger than me, but technically my uncle. Like I said, you need a map for my family. But he lived with us for several years, so I actually consider him more like a little brother. But like I said, it's me and my sisters. The 2 youngest boys, Philip and Lawrence, they were around us up until I hit about, I think until they were about 3 or 4. And then their mom moved them all because she and the father had separated because, again, he couldn't believe he couldn't have kids. Separated, and she moved back out to the Midwest to be near family. So can't blame her at all. But it's one of those things, you know. We were luckier than most in our family. My mom was able to keep all 4 of us girls, and we were welfare babies. I think it's kind of funny, none of us really are on welfare now as adults. I remember back in the day, people were like, once you're on welfare, you're always on welfare. Not true. But another subject, another day. But we've all done pretty well for ourselves. Have gotten out of the neighborhood we grew up in. And growing up, my stepmom was actually pretty cool. She's not the, you know, you hear horror stories about step-parents, and no, not my parents. My parents had a friend of theirs, their kid had killed themselves from the parents fighting. And that happened when I was young. I was like, I think 7, 8. My parents put aside the personal differences and says it doesn't matter what we feel. These are our children. We need to work together to raise them. So when people told me about, oh, I can get away with murder at my dad's house because he's mad at my mom, even though I'm grounded at home, didn't work for me. I ground one house, I ground both. I got my ass whooped in one house, I'm going to get whooped in the other. Just how it was. So my parents got along. Actually, when my mom passed away, my mom and stepdad lived just across the grass in the same apartment complex as my dad and stepmom. Go figure, right? Also, my dad and stepmom were really cool. Growing up, me and Katrina would get Christmas presents, and my dad knew that my two younger sisters weren't. So he would, and my stepmom would take money every year and buy them presents right along with us. My two younger sisters call my father Dad too. And I cannot be as grateful as I am that he did that, because it really helped my sisters be better people, I think. My sister Sarah especially, I think the last couple of years has really come to realize how much of a dad he is to her. When she got sick, he got on an airplane and flew out here, and my dad's a little claustrophobic. So, quite a thing for him to do. But like I said, there's a big roadmap for my family. It's not an easy, oh, this is my dad and my mom, this is my dad and my stepmom, this is my mom and stepdad. Ooh-wee. But, I am close to my family, my sisters. The brothers, the younger brothers, I do get along with them. I don't see them as much. One of them used to live out here. He's now back where their mother is, Midwest. They had lost their mother about 2 years ago and made some drastic changes in their personalities. And they both were serving for the military too, so I can't say anything. Well, one was reserve, one was military. But I'm somewhat close to them. I mean, I keep track of them on Facebook, but just don't have the time to talk all the time. I did say happy birthday. I try to remember that, and Merry Christmas, but we all know how it is, especially when you're living life day to day. It's harder to keep up with family. And it's kind of funny. I keep up better with some of my friends than I do some of my family, which is weird, but we all get absorbed into what we're doing, and we don't always like the same thing, so it's harder to have conversations. My mom had always wanted a little boy. She never got a little boy. She says, well, if I have to have all girls, and she's the one who had 4 girls, she says I want them to be very different from each other. She said she later cursed herself with that one. She said she was cursing herself because she got 4 very different personalities, looks, and types. I'm 5'11", naturally a dark blonde, blue-eyed, big girl. Even though I'm a big girl, my features are very, prominent cheekbones, slung jaw, heart-shaped base, I think. I don't know, this jaw kind of pronounces that, but it is. My sister Katrina is more of a tawny complexion. She's light like I am, but it's more golden, and her hair is light brown, so it's not far from mine, but her face is narrower and more pulled forward. She has the more Norwegian features, and her eyes are the color of a pine tree. I kid you not. I see her eyes, I think of a pine tree, that dark green and that rich brown in those eyes. And so since she's all that tawny kind of complexion, and she can get dark. I burn, she gets dark. Oh. Then there's Sarah. Oh, and her personality. I love her. She's my sister. There's no ever going back from that. But, and she's always been there for me, and so I can never say anything. But if you ask her honest opinion, she'll give it to you before you ask sometimes. And it's the honest. She's not trying to be rude. She's just very blunt. And I love that. And some people are like, really? And I'm like, yeah. It's actually taught me how to deal with other people. And I don't take it personal. Because I know she doesn't mean it to be personal. It's just how she is. My sister Sarah. Rich chocolate brown hair with that red natural, not bright red light, but how you get in the red and it's got a red haze. She has that. Her eyes are blue too, but they're light, bright blue eyes, and they're big. I have smaller eyes pushed back. Hers are pulled forward, and they're just these big blue, light blue sky eyes. Sky eyes, Bad pun. But, she's got the peaches and cream complexion. She had freckles as a kid, and she get out of the sun, they go away. And I loved her complexion. Peaches and cream, women die for. She fakes and bakes, or she used to. She finally stopped a couple of years ago. But her freckles got so bad. I think she said something one time jokingly. She's trying to merge them all into one permanent tan. But so she's very freckled now. But I think it's funny people sometimes think she's older than me, but I think it's from all the faking and baking. But that's an opinion, and we'll be leaving it at that. That's just an opinion. Features, her features are, she's got the short, upturned English nose. Her jawline is definitely thinner than mine. She doesn't have these high cheekbones. Hers are a little bit more flat, but she's got more prominent lips than I do, and her forehead's a little bigger, but she's got the heart shape too, like I do. So, yeah, no, we kind of look alike, but kind of don't, you know, it's just one of those things. People wouldn't believe for years we were sisters, but, definitely look different, and her personality, Sarah always gets what Sarah wants. And that's gonna be Sarah always gets what Sarah wants, and very driven. She's she's got a LPN now, and she's going back for her RN, and she's gonna do it. And I've gotta give her nothing but props and support for that. My sister Katrina got her dietitian license last year. She's a dietitian / CNA. My sister Sarah's an LPN, helping with some people. I really can't give too many details because of their jobs, just like mine. You have to watch what you say. And then my youngest sister, Jennifer, sorry, she prefers Jennifer. At least I'm not calling her by the nickname we grew up in. She would kill me for that. Same thing with Trina and Sarah, but, you know, hey. Woohoo! They call me Sky out of respect. I call them their first name out of respect, but, it is what it is. She is... Oh, and we're all different heights. I'm 5'11". Katrina is a mere 5'5". Sarah's a 5'7". And Jenny is a mere 5'3.5". She beat her mom out. And we all have different body shapes too. I'm big woman, kind of blocky. It is what it is. I have some curves. Some curves. My sister Katrina is very heavy on the backside, as in she has a shelf. I've seen many people give themselves whiplash looking at her. It is what it is. Sarah has got the runner's body, lean and tall. Though she's put on weight over the last couple years, as she's gotten older, it's been proportionate. She's still curvy. Her figure and mine are not alike. She carries her weight, and she's not near as heavy as I am. Nowhere near. She's just slightly overweight, where I'm a big girl. And then Jenny, size 3 waist, no butt. No butt. But triple D top. What the? This tiny frame is big old top. It's crazy, right? She's got mocha complexion. The Native American mocha, and I remember Mom complaining growing up. She could never tell if her knees and legs were dirty or that tan. 99.9% of the time, she was just that tan. Her skin would get that copper gold color from the Native American. And then she's got eyelashes that every woman in the world would kill for. Long, thick, black eyelashes. She doesn't have to put mascara on. We tried that as a kid. It's touching up here. What? Really? She's the only one who's got them. Long, thick, black eyelashes. And eyes the color of molten chocolate. That's my opinion. I watched many of our boyfriends over the years when we were young and she was little. She'd do this. And she had that pout going. You know, that puppy dog look? Yeah, I'm immune thanks to her. Completely immune to the puppy dog look. I've had people, I'm like, yeah, right, I've dealt with a master, move on, because it don't have any effect on me. Not after her. I just remember many times. She and I both have these high cheekbones. But complexions are completely different. We have similar eye shapes, though hers are a little whiter. And then she's got those black eyelashes. And her eyes aren't set quite as far back as mine are. So, if you took away our complexions, you would see more similarities, but without it. And she is definitely the baby of the group. So, we all know what babies are like. I'm the oldest of the girls. I used to be the most responsible. Everybody ran to me. After our mom passed away, our grandpa got really sick, and I moved down to take care of him. And I don't want to say I broke that bond, but I changed how that bond is. I'm not the one everybody runs to. Katrina is now. She shouldn't be, but it's what happened. Me, I just don't have anybody else. And Sarah, because I think sometimes because I left, she sometimes feels like, I don't think it's conscious. I think it's sometimes, she loves me, I'm her older sister, but she doesn't always look at me as a sister, more like a parent figure sometimes. And then there's other times I think she felt like maybe I abandoned her when I left, but I knew if I stayed here, my life was going to wrap around my sisters, and I was not going to be able to have a life of my own. Moving away, being away from my sisters, in a lot of ways was great, because it really allowed me to become me. I lost me for a little bit down there, too, when I got engaged, but that's a story for a different day. But when I came back up here, I was able to be me and be who I am and be fine with being me. Me and my sister had a conversation a while ago, and I said, she's like, well, we were talking, and I said, you know, with everything we've gone through over the years, growing up, how we did, and we had a rough childhood in the beginning. It got better as we got older. Single mom of 4 girls, not a lot of choices in life where you live and what you do until later. But she and I were talking, and she says, are you ever lonely? I said, there are moments I am lonely. Am I afraid of being by myself and alone? No, not anymore. I've gotten to the point, there's some things that's kind of nice. If I want to do something, I just do it. When you're in a relationship, there is a responsibility to the other person to discuss it with them. So, my battery's getting low. I'm going to have to go here in a second. But, sorry, the conversation went everywhere. This was supposed to be a bit of a family map. So if I happen to refer to somebody by name, you know who they are. So, 2 older brothers are James, who has no kids, and Steve, who has kids. I will talk about Steve. I don't talk about James because he's not a person I tend to associate with. He has some personal interests that I don't agree with, but we all have our own opinion, and it is what it is on that one. Okay, so it's James and Steve. Steve's with one of the kids down south who I might mention one day, his kids and stuff. Then there's me, Katrina, Sarah, and Jenny. And those are the Katrina, Sarah, and Jenny are the ones you'll hear about if I mention. And then Katrina has her oldest son, Connor. I might mention, I've already discussed this with him. He's okay with me mentioning him. I just can't give too many details. Tonight he's on his 10-month anniversary with his girlfriend. He's 17. Aww. Anyways, and then there's, of course, Sarah. She has her kids, which I don't have permission to mention their names at this point. It might happen down the road. And then Jenny, who, she doesn't live locally. She actually lives in another state. A much warmer area than our -5 degrees, 4 degrees before wind chill. It's cold outside. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over this before, and like I said, my battery's running, so it's kind of flashing me again. But that sounded bad. The light on the camera is flashing again. Not flashing me again. Really? I will eventually clean this up. These are clean clothes that in a reusable bag, and then some craft supplies. I gotta clean up and do. I just been dealing with everything else. I put away my Christmas tree finally and all that fun stuff. So, but this was a bit of a family map, and that way you kind of know who I'm talking about if you ever decide to follow me. If you don't, it was nice seeing you, and just remind everybody to subscribe, hit the like if you like. Any comments about anything you want to hear about or see, I'll try to give you what I can. Again, respect for my family, not to go too far overboard. And you all take care. Have a nice day. Enjoy. Sorry, looking at my battery, it's got a little bit of life left in it. Enjoy. And see you around. Take care. Live life with joy.